Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the task ahead is formidable, much more than it was 4 years ago. When people ask me, why are you doing this? Let me explain. I remain inspired by the fact that as a people, we have faced terrible situations before. Check our history. Please don't begin with the Fourth Republic or the struggle for independence, although these are also important milestones. Go hundreds of years back. In those hard times, our forefathers and our foremothers too did not throw up their arms in despair. They fought back. They resisted. They sacrificed. They persevered. They brought back hope when there was none. They picked up the pieces of a broken people and carefully and strategically sewed them back. And they left for us a legacy of selflessness, of true patriotism and pride. It is our responsibility today to leave something better for the next generations. Giving up is not an option. We must all soldier on. Across the political divide, across social and professional groupings, among the youth, you hear complaints and stories concerning state capture, where this government has chosen to use its power not in the broader interest of all Ghanaians, but to favor a small clique. What is that? John and I have agreed that whoever has participated in the plunder of the state must be held accountable. And my friends, this is not a threat, it is a promise. It is a promise which is premised on the wishes of our citizens across the political divide, and it is hinged on the principle of accountability. Let us face the facts. Today, what do we hear? Is the promotion of ethnocentric elitism, which is masquerading as intellectualism. Ladies and gentlemen, it is elitism masquerading as intellectualism. It is weakness strutting as courage, and crony capitalism masked as development in freedom. It is shameless hypocrisy pretending to be objective. This will never move our country forward. Rather, the most significant achievement of all these has been a country in near insolvency. Its natural resources such as water, land, and even the environment in rebellion. A people harassed and intimidated into numbness, and as some will say cynically, some of us also bribed into silence. I envisage a report on the administration of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama on the ticket of the NDC in his reign 2013 to early 2017. And I bet that the report will have no reference to the following: a multi-million dugout I don't know about you, but the image I get looking at that hole is a trench in utter shock that anyone could believe it was intended as a Thanksgiving gift to the Almighty, invisible, God only wise. You will not find in his record a free SHS at war. The battle fought on the grounds of food, shelter, even calendar, teaching and learning materials, or those who spend a couple of weeks in school and many months at home just idling by. You will not find past questions instead of textbooks and science equipment. You will not find an atmosphere that suppresses learning. You will not find free water and electricity to a few that has turned out to be most expensive for everyone. Such a report will not find COVID money shared for partisan political campaign purposes. And all of this done when people were dying and they needed just a little bit of help. You will not find in a stem an Agyemang-like manifesto. And you will not find him as president clearing malfeasance and writing love letters to prejudice a bad situation. You will not find that unemployment jumped from 8 to 14%. And actually check the figures. Check the actual figures. Go beyond the percentages. And you will not find a debt to GDP that has gone a wall, or a city that refuses to be tamed. Under his tenure, you will not find weak efforts to hide the truth of Doomsok. The reports will not include scandals surrounding the PDS, Australian visa, Keldon JVG, was contaminated fuel, excavations, and Aboboya tricycles that can fly faster than unconfirmed. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, you will not find unfulfilled promises of one village, one dam, $1 million per constituency per year, 350 secondary schools from scratch, and too many betrayals and too many instances of disrespect. You will not find in his time a tracker too embarrassed and gone into hiding because it is too afraid to expose its plagiarized content. In truth, such an investigation of his term would not reveal over 100 scandals and still counting. What will the report say about the NDC under John Dramani Mahama? After exhausting the list of clinics, hospitals, medical centers, expansion of existing universities, polytechnics, 10 technical universities, brand new universities, focus on current and projected national needs. You will find the Mahama schools, popularly called E-blocks, and you will find these constructed from scratch. You will find that there was a debilitating shift system and that it was painstakingly and effectively abolished. You will find that the ratio of textbooks at the primary level moved from 1 book to 3 children to 4 books per child. This is a leader you can trust. This is a leader who has the love of the country at heart. The report will highlight new roads, harbors, railway lines, not what we've seen of late, Ayalolo buses. You will find the lack of intimidation of opposing voices. You will find serious investment and practice to enable a digitized economy and society. The reports will go on to point at housing projects, including the famous Saglemi housing complex, and even those that somebody has happily raised to make room for a presumed cathedral. You will find that journalists were not hounded into exile. Should I add more? Okay. The reports will find that once upon some years ago, the blame for power outages was placed at the doorstep of the President and the Minister for Energy. The report will find a President who solved the energy crisis that he inherited, and a minister who did resign on principle. The report will tell of a timetable for load shedding provided to respect the dignity of citizens and acknowledge their right to plan and also to learn the truth about our situation with energy. The report will contrast the existing arrogance in leadership with that of the respectful JDM, who builds the children and youth by offering lasting skills, quality education, serious adaptable training, who opens up the economy to create more space for jobs and self-actualization. The report will highlight a JDM who does not line up desperate young people in the heat of the tropical sun to march and salute him as head of state for jobs that have no head, they have no tail, they have no future. The report will explain the foundations of the principles of the policies of the NDC, that they will see that the NDC strives and thrives on consensus building, from observation, study, analysis, vigorous debates that tolerate all views, to an agreement on the options at hand, and end with well thought out implementation plans. The benefits of such approach inure to everyone. They inure to nation, they inure to community, they inure to individual. In that